Ciao everybody, welcome back to another Coach's Corner hosted by yours truly, Julian Gennady for the Bianconeri Zone. This time it's for our boy Filip Kostic. The Serbian is finally making his transfer over to the Bianconeri from Eintracht Frankfurt for a base fee of 15 million euros and some add-ons here or there, not confirmed yet. At the time of recording, we have Fabrizio Romano literally tweeting as I started recording this. You can see on the left-hand side of your screen there, Juventus are prepared to complete Filip Kostic deal very soon. It's pretty much a formality at this point. It's done. And we're getting a left winger to, I guess, if we pinpoint it, he is taking the place of Federico Chiesa at this moment in time. As we know, Chiesa has a torn ACL, so this is a good depth signing, relatively cheap. I'll say relatively because his contractual obligations, he has 1 year left on his Eintracht deal. He's 29 years old. He's turning 30 in November. So spending 15 plus add-ons is, I'd say, fair. He is a Europa League player of the season for 2022, and he has some international pedigree with Serbia, along with, again, Europa League pedigree. He's a Champions League quality player. In terms of Serie A, or in terms of Juventus, this is a step up for him. This is his first time playing at a top level club. So it's later on in his career. There are pros and cons to the signing. We'll get into it starting now. We'll start off with the position because that's one of the main things. The position of Filip Kostic is what is really driving people insane. And they're trying to predict how he'll fit into this team. So we'll bring it up here. As you can see, nicely laid out. This stuff is from, don't mind the Andrea Cambiaso little header there. My producer forgot to change it. It is Filip Kostic, but his positions are left wing, left midfield, or right wing. Predominantly on the left-hand side. If he's going to play on the right, it's to cut in and shoot, similar to what Di Maria does, inverted winger. Everyone knows that. The Arjen Robben, as you will. But this stems the big old question, where is he going to play for Juventus? If we stick with the 4-3-3, which we've been doing all preseason, and what Allegri's been vouching for since he made the interview to DAZN in June, he said that a 4-3-3 we'll be sticking with. He's done it through preseason, so good on Allegri. We're very limited, very short on the left-hand side of our team right now. Adrien Rabiot, as things stand, he's halfway out the door. As I said before, Chiesa has a torn ACL. He's recovering from that, and we have Moise Kean isn't it, so we have nothing there. So this is where Kostic comes in. He'll play, I assume, left wing for the time being. Can he revert to a more defensive left midfielder kind of role? Yes. Can he play left back? No. And we'll get into that further as we go along with these graphics and whatnot. But for the time being, no left back. If Allegri wants to play with wing backs for whatever reason, he can do that. He can be a left wing back. If he wants to play a 4-4-2, I hope not, but he can play left midfield. But in the 4-3-3, he'll be a left winger. That's where I see him. I think that's where the majority of Juventini see him. You see him suit up on the left for the national team, for Eintracht, throughout his whole career, at Hamburg, all those teams. So I assume we'll see more of the same there. Very predominantly left-footed. I think I saw Football Reference. I think he's quoted at 88% of left foot dominant in comparison to a guy like Di Maria, who's 91% left footed, and Dusan Vlahovic is 80. So he's very left footed. And again, it doesn't hurt to have too many lefties. But the front three to start the season, Kostic, Vlahovic, Di Maria, they're all left footed. Is that going to be an issue? We'll see. But again, we're here to talk about Kostic. So you see his positioning there. We'll change it to the injuries because another thing about Juventus Football Club, we are world-renowned for the J-Medical. J-Medical is like the banter. Everyone gets hurt. Everyone gets hurt on this team. Paul Pogba, hurt. McKennie, hurt. Quadrado, issues. Pellegrini, issues. Chesney just got hurt. On and on and on. I'm probably missing somebody. Kyle George still hurt. Chiesa still hurt. That's just why we're getting depth in Kostic. As you can see on that side of the screen there, again, from Transfer Market, he missed a game for the flu. He missed a game for the pandemic. He hurt his Achilles tendon, but was right back in the action. He was only missing one game. Last year, he only missed 4. The year before that, he missed What's that? 4 again for knee problems. And then he rarely misses games. His injury record's actually pretty good. That's one of the things I want to look out for once he joins the club. Will he be injury prone for whatever reason because of our training system, of our training methods? Is Folletti making him injured? Is he going to be? Is he the actual root cause? And it's not just a conspiracy theory amongst Juventini. Is it a proven player who doesn't get injured a lot going to come in and be injured? We hope not, obviously, but we're going to look out. I'm going to look out for that specifically. So he's got a good injury history record. I'm happy with that. He comes in fit. We saw him play against Bayern Munich, match day 1 in the Bundesliga, and he looked fine. So we'll move on. We'll move on to some stats now. And these are some standard stats. Again, when I pulled this information, I compared him to wingers and attacking midfielders, whereas I didn't want to compare him to fullbacks because that's not fair. So he's going to play wing for us, so I have to compare him to wingers around the top 5 leagues in the whole world. Again, it's a 90. If you're closer to 99 percentile, the better you are. So we see some 2 green bars there for assists and yellow cards. We know he's a little aggressive, a little tenacious little guy with a good work rate, and his assists. That's what everyone's clamoring for. We see Dusan Vlahovic starved for chances, starved in our attack, rarely touching the ball. So people are going to believe that Kostic is going to be able to provide him chances, Vlahovic. And I'm not gonna spoil my take on it yet, but at this point in time, I'll just say we'll see if he can do that. We will see if he can do that. Can he deliver a great cross? Yes. And we'll get into that deep down. We'll go to next to goals and shots created. These stats. So again, we see some green, we see some red, and we see some gray. Gray means meh. Red means not great, and green means good. So shot creating actions per 90 minutes. Again, this is against wingers. 78th percentile, 4.1 shots per 90 he creates. This is where my issue is. And people are going to probably try and rebuttal me, but I don't see how they can if Filip Kostic isn't taking the set pieces. So if he's not taking corner kicks, if he's not taking free kicks, he is only creating, so live passes, 2.29 shots per game. He's creating that much for other players. And that is in the 58th percentile. That's average. It's a gray bar, it's average. If you know math, that's average. The shot created actions per 90, dead ball situations, he delivers a great pass, or he delivers a great ball. 1.5 per game, 97th percentile. That's what people see. People see those 2 numbers added together, and that's what they see. They see, oh wow, he can create almost 4.5 chances per game. We have to see past the granular stat and get into it more. So we'll move on from there. I'm not hating on the guy. I'm just saying be careful what you look at and try and do a deep dive into some stats. So again, we're comparing to other players, as I usually do. We got Kostic, we got Cuadrado, we got Rom, we got Reece James, we got Yannick Carrasco, we got Ivan Perisic. Goal creating actions per 90. As you can see, we got Rom at the top. Everyone else is pretty much in between each other. Kostic got 12, Cuadrado 11. Interesting, because people like to ream on Cuadrado. Reece James at 11, Carrasco's at 12, Perisic at 13. Perisic is probably a top 2 or 3 left-sided player in Serie A, I would say, last year. Obviously, first being Leao. Not much else stands out to me. And then obviously, Perisic is always a good player. So he's near them. Kostic is near Perisic. But Rom stands out. He just went to Leipzig. I think we missed out on him as a left back. But we're comparing left wing backs in this situation. And here's a game situation of Filip Kostic in action. and what everyone sees in his compilations, in his compilation videos, the good in Filip Kostic. So he gets the ball, he's on the left-hand side as always, and he can deliver 3 types of crosses. He can deliver the normal cross pinged into the box. As you can see, he's firing from almost the corner flag there. Perfect delivery in the air to the next player, and you'll see it here. I'll do it nice and slow. Boom. Perfect delivery for a chance at goal. The thing we see in this graphic though, or these 2 graphics at least, Eintracht Frankfurt has people in the box. They have players in the box. Obviously, the more players in the box, there's more players to pick out. Juventus struggles. They've struggled mightily to get midfielders and other attackers into the box with the striker. So I don't know if that's going to change with the style of play. Do we have a style of play under Allegri? These are all things that have to happen organically because Filip Kostic can't make other players go into the box. So we'll see what he can do with what he has to offer. If he has just Vlahovic in the box against 3 other guys, it's going to be very difficult. But if there's more targets to pick out, obviously he'll be able to pick them out. And then we'll go to the next 2. Again, it's a different type of cross. It's a deeper cross. So he's not quite at the 18-yard box yet. He's probably around 25 yards from the box, and he's in swinging. Perfect delivery again. No one has an issue with his crossing. It's perfect. So if you look from image 1 to image 2, perfect delivery, weight on the pass, perfect height for an Eintracht player to get his head on it. Again, there's 3 people in the box there against 5, but he's put the ball perfectly into a space where only his player can go get it. So number 10 is Kostic, crossing the ball in from the edge of the area, a deeper cross, pinpoint accuracy. If he's crossing the Vlahovic there, you have to bet your house that he scores. I forget if this guy scores or not. So yeah, deadly crosser, pinpoint crosser. You hope you can bring that to Juventus when he joins, if he has that opportunity even. Again, it's up to Allegri to utilize the attacking players that he has. Next, we'll go to shot creating actions and the comparison. So he is on top here. Again, this looks good. This looks pretty good, right? We're all like, oh yeah, Filip Kostic, he's on the top of this list. He's beating Cuadrado, he's beating Rom, he's beating Reece James, Carrasco, Perisic. He takes set pieces. This is including dead balls. This is including corner kicks and free kicks. Is he going to take these at Juventus? I don't know. Is Di Maria the guy, or is Kostic going to be the guy? I don't know. So these are a little inflated, but again, we'll see. We'll see, because at the end of the day, we do know he has the quality to deliver a good cross. Again, it's going to be illustrated. A third type of way to cross the ball is along the floor into the path of or a cutback. This isn't necessarily a cutback, but he's playing the ball on the ground to his intended target, but it's a cross still. So he's got everything in the toolkit in terms of crossing. You can see, again, left side of the pitch. He's going to whip the ball in to the front, or frontish middle to this oncoming striker, and he's going to tap it in. I don't have the result because I just didn't get it, but he's got the third type of cross, ball on the ground, basically a tap in for the striker. So next we'll go on to dribbling, because this is another thing I'm going to really nail down on. Look at that. Look at the players again. We got Cuadrado, Rom, Reece James, Carrasco, Perisic. Again, we as Juventus fans get mad at Juan Cuadrado because when he dribbles or he takes players on, the decision making or the ability to get past his man doesn't always happen. Well, same sample size, pretty much, and Kostic is way worse. He's 12% worse than Juan Cuadrado beating his man. Again, I'm not trying to knock Kostic here, but there is substance to this. If he's going to be a winger in a 4-3-3, he has to go at his man sometimes. That's just the reality of the situation. More often than not, he is not going to beat his man. That's kind of an issue. People say he's got the pace and all that stuff, but does he have the trickery, the elusiveness, the actual pace? Because I tend to disagree with people that he has pace. He's not the fastest dude. So in a 4-3-3, you have to get at your player, you have to get at your defender, you have to isolate him, and you have to beat him sometimes. And if he can't do that, it's going to be tough against Serie A teams who work in a low block. So maybe he's got to change his game a bit and he's got to do those deeper crosses. But I'm not happy with this. That doesn't make me happy. That doesn't make me confident that he'll be able to be as creative as people want him to be. Again, I think this is a good depth piece. This is a good depth signing. He has quality in him. But people are thinking that he's going to come in and save Vlahovic or save the attack. I don't think he's going to do that to that extent. I think he's going to add some quality. I think he's going to provide some service, but I don't think he's going to be that savior that we're clamoring for in the attacking third. We'll move on to passing because, again, it just emphasizes my point even further. We got pass completions, 64% pass completions. It's not great. You got 72.7%, 78%. It's not great. It's red. He's attempted a lot. Again, he's attempted a lot. He's trying to force. It's like the Hollywood pass. It's like the Bruno Fernandes pass. Bruno Fernandes probably is 99th percentile in all of these attempts. But is the completion there? Is the final ball there? Is it working? Again, if you're trying to rip up apart teams and you're trying to get through teams in low blocks, you got to try some things. I get it. But 7% or 7th percentile, 78% of those passes are working. It seems a bit wasteful. And again, I'm not trying to knock on the guy. I think it's a good depth signing. But to put the creativity and hope on him in the attacking third along with Di Maria, I think we should expect different things. We should have different expectations for Kostic. Again, key passes 2.8 per game. Again, the volume that he does. The Hollywood pass, sometimes it works. The dead balls he has, the set pieces, it's good deliveries. Is he going to be able to take those set pieces at Juventus? We'll see. Move on to shooting next. Again, free kicks, set pieces. He's good at them. Shots on goal, though, 2 per game, which is fine. We need players to shoot the ball because we barely get attempts on goal anyway. And you'll see in a couple of graphics I've illustrated, or I've showed Kostic illustrating that. Shots on target, 0.64. Average shot distance is 22.6 yards. So yeah, long distance shots. So far further away from the goal. And here's proof of that. We got him shooting on site, which is not always a Juventus thing to do. So good for him. If he has a chance from there, we know he's going to shoot. Unlike some players on our teams in the past, Morata, would he shoot from there? I don't know. Or would he try to dribble it more? Is Moise Kean shooting from there? I don't think so. I think he'll try to get closer. This guy, if he has half a yard of space inside the box, he's shooting. Again, is it going to be always the right decision to do that? I don't know, but he's willing to do it, which is something different. Next one, again, look where he is. Angle's not the greatest. Shot on goal, though. Venomous, hard shot, good shot on him. Didn't really have an option here. Could he have flung it back post? Maybe, but he just decided to shoot here. Again, fine. We need shots on goal. If you don't score if you don't shoot. We got a couple more slides here. Next is the defensive aspect of his game. And as you can see, this is, again, against wingers. So tackles, the normal winger doesn't make tackles. But since he played left back or left wing back for Eintracht Frankfurt, his stats are going to be decent. The amount of tackles in the defensive third, 93rd percentile. made a lot of tackles in his defensive third because he had to help out Inditsa, who's the left center back. This is why, if you can see the dribble pass stat, this is why he is not a left back, and he will not play left back in a 4-man defense. He is not going to usurp Alexandro's spot. He gets dribbled by 1.67 times per game. He is in the 7th percentile. He is woeful at defending, at one-on-one defending. Woeful. So we don't need him doing that. Just stay higher up the pitch. Just do your thing up there. Try and whip your balls in. Try and have good service into Vlahovic, into Di Maria, into Locatelli at the back post, maybe Pogba when he's fit. Do that, and we're happy. We don't want him to play left back. Max Allegri, we do not want Filip Kostic to play left back. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to see that. It won't work out. That's all I got to say on that. And then finally, we got our last little stat here. We have fouls committed, fouls drawn, so he's a busybody. Crosses, 7 a game. Yeah, does a lot. Ball recoveries, he again, he's tenacious, very aggressive, likes to win the ball back, so that's a good positive thing. Allegri loves that players. He'll do that for him. So there you go. All in all, the transfer itself as a depth piece for 15 million base plus bonuses in I'll say a mini crisis in terms of in the attack. It's an acceptable deal. It's an acceptable signing. I understand why we're doing it. We need depth. We need especially depth on the left side. He does add quality. He is good at crossing the ball, producing opportunities. But I don't know if he's that guy to take us to another level. I don't know if he's going to be able to create enough for Vlahovic. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see where he even plays, firstly. I think he's going to play in a 4-3-3 on the left-hand side. And until Chiesa comes back, even if Chiesa comes back, Chiesa can play on the right if Di Maria needs a rest, and Kostic can play as a left winger as well. There's ways to get him in when Chiesa's fit and ready to go. I think he will be an Allegri favorite due to his tenacity, his work rate, and his efforts. I'll say, to come back defensively, even though he's not great at one-on-one defending. And I think he'll win a lot of Juventini over from, I'm going to quote again, Grinta and all that stuff. So my final thoughts, decent deal, good depth signing, fair price. He'll do a job. Is he the most exciting player? No. Will he push us over the edge to win a Scudetto? No. But you need players like this in your squad if you want to be competitive, even in Europe. So I'll say yes. I sign off on it. Another thing you have to take into perspective here, he's replacing essentially Bernardeschi, and he's better than Bernardeschi. So that's a win. The bar's low for that, but it's still a win. So good for us. Decent signing. I hope he's ready to rock as soon as possible. I hope he's ready to rock match day 1. I'm sure he will be. He's been playing with Bayern Munich, or with Frankfurt against Bayern Munich. He's been playing all Eintracht Frankfurt's preseason. So I think he's physically fit, ready to rock. And that's all I got for today. So let me know what you think about Filip Kostic. Do you think I'm too harsh, or do you think the stats are what they are and I'm onto something here? Let me know in the comments. Follow me on Twitter at Gennady151. Follow Bianconeri Zone on all the social media accounts, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Bianconeri Zone. Follow Justin Sofro at Justin Sofro on Twitter. Follow Alejandro Fonsello at Alejandro BZ on Twitter. And like this video, please. Please, please, please. It helps a lot, tremendously. We've been getting 100 likes on a lot of these videos we've been doing lately. It really helps us gather more subscribers. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And Forza Juve, Filip Kostic, come on down to the Allianz.